By now, y'all should know I've been abstinent for like 6 years. This month makes 6 years. And so I do plan on breaking it my birthday. But I was talking to my therapist and she was like, you mentioned somebody last week and you act like you didn't want to talk about it. So we're going to talk about it this week, right? And I was like, oh yeah, he ain't shit. Like, I shouldn't be, hunching on him. But here we are. And she was like, you know what? I'm going to give you some bad advice. Make it worth it. Make sure you have a good old time, have a blast, and just make it worth it for you. We could talk about the rest later. AKA do it for the plot. That's all she had to tell me. That's all she had. That's all she had to tell me.
Now,
So,
what foolery did we
so
just
she
watch?
stayed celibate for 6 years, so
To
that
just
so that
hunch
her
on
so that
a
her
ring?
therapist could tell her to give it to her. Ain't shit, nigga. See, this the
Right?
bullshit
It's
that
You
crazy.
can't you can't
this
you
the
can't make this shit up.
bullshit that
She
we be
needs to
talking about.
fire her therapist,
This
number
is
one,
the
because she not helping.
therapist need to go.
The
She
therapist
need to
gotta
get
go.
all her money back.
All her money.
Bro,
All her
so
money back.
and this is the thing. See, this is the thing that be annoying, guys, right? Because I guarantee you, right, during that whole celibacy time, them 6 years, it's somebody with a good job that got some benefits. A nigga with no kids that was really trying to get that coochie. He really needed that. He was having a hard time, and he really needed that. And she was being stingy with it, kept it all to herself. Nah, I can't give up no coochie. I'm celibate. I'm new year, new me. Right? And now, I mean, Tyrone came through. She said it herself. She know Tyrone shouldn't get the cookie, but she said she already done planned when she gonna give it to him. She already know on her birthday Tyrone getting the kitty.
On her birthday, and Tyrone not even gonna buy her nothing for her
But
birthday.
Brian from
He just
bookkeeping
gonna get
can't
it
get
for
it.
free.
You know what I
Why
mean?
was she celibate for 6 years just to break it randomly? Like just cause. Like I'ma just
Because they
do
want
it now.
more. Women want more. It's
No,
not
but
enough.
usually if you're celibate for that long, you're doing it for a reason. And the reason is usually marriage, right? Like it's to end with the goal of getting married or finding your forever partner. So it just doesn't make
Nah,
logical
it just
sense
means
to
she ain't find
me.
the right toxic nigga to give it to.
Oh my
She's
God.
looking for
It
the
just
worst
doesn't
one
make
she can
sense
find.
to me
I'm-
for her
yeah,
to
because
wait that long and then just give it up to some guy who she literally said ain't ish. Like, what? That was just a very toxic TikTok. I don't believe her that she's been celibate for 6 years. That just sounds crazy to me.
why
I mean, I
does
don't
it
believe
sound
that either,
crazy? Like
but
you don't think a woman could be celibate for 6 years?
No. I think a woman can be celibate for 6 years, but a woman that's been
women know.
celibate for 6 years is not just going to give it up to some guy she know ain't nothing. What did I do all of that work for? Why was I so committed? Like
There's
what was
no
the end goal? It's
Man,
usually a
where's
goal at the end of all of that.
the real question here is where's the self-value?
Yeah.
Right? If I held on to this beautiful thing of abstinence for 6 years and you just give it away to a nigga that you just, oh, the nigga ain't shit. You just blow it off like it ain't nothing.
Right.
That on its own is mind blowing. And that needs to be studied.
I'm gonna tell y'all what happened.
It shows that the counseling not
I'm gonna
working.
tell y'all why she was celibate. She probably had a good job, had moved out the hood for a little while, and there wasn't no hood niggas around in her new neighborhood. So she called herself being celibate. You know what I mean? She couldn't find no hood niggas to give it to. Oh, I'm celibate right now. Then, you know what I mean? She found her a hood nigga. You know what I mean? So she decided on my birthday, I'm tossing him the cat. And that's all it is. Simple as that.
She dude probably treat her like shit. Women get turned on by
I love
dudes
that.
that play hard.
Yeah, I love that.
Dude probably treat her like shit, and it's like, why can't I control him? I'm gonna give him some cooch to see if I can control him now.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I can't believe you guys are just talking
You
so.
can hear a pin drop.
I just can't believe y'all talking so down on women like that, man. What's wrong with you guys?
They ain't saying nothing because they know it's true though. They like,
Like
yeah,
you
we
They
like
know
that
it's
shit.
true. That's
Nah,
why they
I'm
you
laughing.
guys
They like, yeah,
just
we like that shit.
like you guys just think women just worthless. Like they have
But
no business.
no.
Nah,
Yeah.
but women do like toxic behaviors though. I mean, like literally all of my relationships that have went bad, they usually go bad after I've done something really nice. And all of and like usually when things go the way I want in a relationship, it's after I was mad or something. Like after I was angry or yelled at her, checked her for something, things go my way immediately after that. But anytime I'm like trying to keep it calm and cool and non-toxic, you know what I mean? They don't like that. Listen, this version of Clout, they don't like this version, but this version, toxic Clout, different results.
He just went from Superman to Clark Kent real
You
quick.
feel me?
There's a
man.
difference between
They
immature
don't like the
women.
clear lenses, but when we get back to black,
It's a shame that you have those. I think it's a difference between immature women who don't know themselves and are still trying to find what makes them happy and what they want in life. Those are usually the women that are going after toxic men, right? They're usually younger. But once you've matured, once you understand what you're looking for, once you know yourself and your own value, that's no longer appeasing to you. That's actually a turnoff, right? Like an extreme red flag. And I'm not saying really that we don't like men who stand their own ground. Of course we do, right? A woman doesn't want a man that's a pushover, but toxicity, like she literally told her counselor, she know he ain't nothing. I know he ain't shit. Then why? It just doesn't make sense. It just shows a lack of maturity to me.
Well, no,
It shows a
well,
lot of
that's
growth
what
that still
makes the
needs to
coochie
happen in
sing.
that place.
I've related
well,
to a
no,
mind frame like that before. That's why I was going to be like, I'm playing. I guess I'm devil's advocate today, y'all. One part I do agree with Kat. Let me say where I agree at first. I do agree that after a certain age, after certain experiences, after going through life, it's just, it's not worth your peace. And that's why she said it's kind of weird that she's like willing to give it up so easily. But I guess you could say like in my early 20s, I was celibate for a while, and the guys I was coming across just wasn't worth it, I guess. But I was very horny. Like, I don't know why. And I guess it's not all women. Like, all women don't have like a high sex drive or stuff like that. But as far as me, when I was growing and I started to date men, I had a high sex drive. So after 2 years, I'm like, I just really wanted to have sex. And I felt like because my relationships last so long, like when I never had sex until I got in a relationship. So since my relationships wasn't going well, I'm like, I'd rather have sex with somebody that I know what I'm gonna get from them versus somebody who's going to pretend to be somebody they're not, I guess, and for an experience. When I tell you the worst decision I've made when it comes to my sex life, that was like one of the worst decisions I could make.